Hey there, folks. So glad to see you back on our channel. Today, we're jumping right into the wild world of Android games where you get to collect a bunch of cool creatures. For you guys eagerly waiting for Palworld to hit mobile, hang in there because we've got some good alternatives for you. These games are all about snagging, training, and duking it out with some epic beasts. So, without further ado, let's hit up our top 10 picks that'll scratch that Palworld itch on your Android phones. First up, Ark Survival Evolved. Oh boy, this game is like jumping into a time machine. Picture an island straight out of Jurassic Park. Here, it's all about staying smart to not end up as Dinodner. You've got to hunt, craft your gear, shack up in some shelters, tame some giant lizards, and buddy up with other players. Ark's solo and multiplayer action, not to mention those jaw-dropping visuals and wild environments, make it a top-tier survival showdown. Coming in hot at number 2, Last Day on Earth Survival. Imagine the world's gone to zombie apocalypse crazy town. You've got to keep it together by making stuff, building a safe spot, and fighting off the Walking Dead plus some not-so-friendly humans. It's all about keeping your wits, managing what you've got, climbing up the levels, and braving some pretty sketchy places. The game's visuals are nothing short of awesome, and whether you go it alone or team up, it's one heck of a ride in Zombieland. And at number 3, Coromon. This one's a sweet trip down memory lane for you old-school RPG fans but with a fresh twist. You get to dive into Velua, where you'll meet and collect over 120 Coromon. Get ready for some brainy turn-based battles and pulling together the dream team. It's got a story that'll pull you in, tons of places to check out, quests to complete, and puzzles to crack. Plus, those retro pixel vibes and tunes are just cherry on top. Number 4 is Neomonsters. Here's where you'll get your fill of monster hunting on the go. You get to capture and train a boatload of quirky creatures, then lead them in strategic 4v4 battles. With 6 worlds to get lost in and a bunch of online PvP action, this one's got a story that keeps on giving with heaps of tactical throwdowns for all you monster RPG buffs. And nabbing the 5th spot, Jurassic Survival Island. Ever wanted to live it up like the Flintstones with a touch of Bear GRYLLS? This is your ticket to Dino Island. Craft your tools, set up camp, and do your best to stay off the D-Rex's snack list. With an open-world setup, real-deal resource management, and downright immersive sandbox playtime, this game lets you run wild in a world where dinosaurs didn't go extinct, while the graphics make you feel like you're right there. Alright folks, at number 6, we've got to talk about MHST The Adventure Begins. This one's for all my mobile gamers out there who dig RPGs. Imagine yourself in the Monster Hunter world, right, but instead of slaying those big beasts, you're teaming up with them. It's all about bonding and training those iconic monsters to use in epic turn-based battles. You get loads of customization options, an awesome world to explore, and a story that'll keep you hooked. Whether you're new to the series or a die-hard fan, it's a whole new spin on that classic hunter-monster vibe. Trust me, it's a trip you want to take. Number 7, coming up. You ever wonder what it's like to be a lord thrown into the wild? Well, let me drop Stormfall, Saga of Survival on you. Lucky number 7, this game is savage. You're in Stormfall, basically the middle of nowhere, fighting to stay alive among the exiled and forgotten. You've got to handle the hunger, craft weapons, build yourself a sweet little sanctuary, and fend off some seriously nasty beasts. And it's not just about brawn here. You've got to be clever, learning magic, taming monsters, all that good stuff, right? There are ancient ruins, secretive lore, and you have to fight for control, literally building your fort to survive the evils of the land. Solo players, this one's your shot at proving you've got what it takes. And at number 8, get ready to dive into Volzerk, Monsters and Lands Unknown. This one's an epic strategy game where you're thrown into ancient lands packed with all these mysterious creatures and places just waiting to be explored. You're gonna lead your hero through some pretty intense battles, manage resources, and summon some hardcore creatures to fight by your side. It's all about your team and your tactics. Every choice you make could lead you to glory in a world where magic's just as important as might. For all you deep thinkers and lore lovers, Volzerk is where you'll want to be, crafting your own legend. Number 9. Hold on to your hats. So, who wants to take a trip to a mythical world? That's precisely what you get with Utopia Origin. It's this massive open-world survival game set in Bia, and it's straight up enchanting. You've got all these wild landscapes to discover, not to mention the craziest creatures you've never seen before. You can gather resources, whip up items, tame beasts, and build to your heart's content, going it alone or with your pals. For those of you that like a side of creativity with your survival stress, you're gonna want to jump in here. And lastly, number 10 on our hit list. Don't skip on Chainmonsters, guys. This MORPG is where you capture, train, and battle with a menagerie of chainments. Think real-time combat that's got strategy written all over it. As you unwrap the mysteries of Ancora, you can join up with others for a challenge, hit up seasonal events, and become part of a gaming community that's all about those shared victories. With some pretty slick visuals and new creatures always coming into play, Chainmonsters keeps things fresh. It's the perfect place to make allies, and let's face it, maybe show off a little bit, too. Alright, here's your rundown of the cream of the crop. The best 10 games for all you Palworld fans wielding hemorrhoids. These games, they're not just any old titles. They've each got their own flavor, from the kind of stories that'll keep you up at night, to battle tactics that'll have you scratching your head, to the sheer fun of teaming up with critters that are way out of the ordinary. So what are you waiting for? It's time to dive into these incredible universes that are just a tap away on your phone or tablet. And hey, while you're gearing up for your next digital adventure, do me a solid, hit that like button until it can't feel feelings anymore. Sneak in a subscribe if you're new here, and give that bell a little jingle so you never miss out on the hottest new content. Let's game on and have some fun.